Hey everyone, it's Zach back with a new mortgage video. Hope you're all having a happy Wednesday. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, welcome to my channel. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back, where I'll try to demystify all things mortgage related. If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe to my channel. So today I wanted to kind of build on a short video I made last week about cash out refinances and talk about the differences between cash out refinance versus a home equity line of credit or HELOC, and kind of the pros and cons of both, and when I would recommend doing one over the other. So to start out with a couple basics, in order to do either one of these type of loans, you're going to need to currently own a property, and you're going to need to have equity in that property, meaning the loan amount that you have needs to be a fair bit lower than what the property is worth. And I would say, if you want to do one of these type of loans and there's any question about the amount of equity, like certainly if you've paid off the house or you have like 50,000 left on your loan and the house is worth 400,000, probably don't need to look too deeply into it. But if maybe the Zestimate, maybe there's like a $60,000 spread based on that, I would definitely recommend reaching out to a realtor if you have a good relationship with one, to get some comps to make sure that you're not going through the process without really knowing what the house is worth. Things like Zestimate and these other online estimates of how much your house is worth are sometimes wildly inaccurate. So I would definitely recommend getting a realtor to take a second look if you're in doubt about the value. So assuming you do own a home and you have a fair amount of equity, the main reason I would recommend doing a HELOC over a cash out refinance is if you want to maintain a really low interest rate. So this is for people that maybe bought right at the beginning of the real estate boom, like 2020, and you got like a 2.5% interest rate and the property value went way up in those couple years. The HELOC does not replace your first lien. A HELOC is a second lien, and it is a line of credit, as the name suggests. So think of it more like a credit card than a mortgage, where you usually are drawing the full amount up front and then you pay it off over time. The benefit to a HELOC is that it does not mess with the original mortgage, and it's a little more flexible than just getting all your cash out at once. Now, one of the downsides to HELOC is that typically they are not permanently fixed. A lot of the times they'll be fixed for a certain period of time, but then they're going to move up and down based on the market. So that is one downside. The other thing is, typically the interest rate is going to be higher than a regular mortgage. So really the key with a HELOC is going to be the blended rate. What is the combined interest rate on the first mortgage plus the HELOC? What does that average out to be? And compare that to what your interest rate would be on a cash out refinance. Now, if you have, let's say like a 6.5 or 7% interest rate, and you can get a similar or especially better interest rate on a cash out refinance, then that's kind of a no-brainer. That's a 30-year fixed loan. You don't have to worry about it adjusting. So you're just replacing one 30-year fixed mortgage with another one at a similar interest rate. One fair question to ask is, how much equity do I need? The amount that you're pulling out is really up to you. But as far as like the minimums go, for either a HELOC or a primary residence cash out refinance, you're probably looking at about 90% loan to value, meaning if the house is worth $400,000, you can do a loan up to $360,000. Now keep in mind there are closing costs associated to these transactions as well, but factoring in a little bit for closing costs, hypothetically, if you have a loan of less than, say, $350,000 and the house is worth $400,000, it's worth looking into. But I would say just generally you probably want at least to make $10,000 or $20,000 on a cash out refinance for it to be worth the effort. So as always, if you have any questions or comments, shoot them below, or feel free to call, text, or email me. But thanks for tuning into this one, and see you next time.